Test, test, test. There we go. All right. Let's see. Can you guys see me okay on YouTube? I'm getting like a weird laggy thing on my end, but I don't know if it's just me and it's just my little YouTube like mini window. Like like this is what I can see right now. It was twirling a few seconds ago, like for like a good minute or so. Are you guys good to see me? Can you guys hear me? Let me know. I don't know if a member stream every now and again, since it's still technically beta for YouTube, if it's having any issues or not. Okay. Oh, and Loki says hi as he digs his claws into my shoulder here. Look at those. Yep. Okay. Good afternoon. Hey, Thomas. Happy to see you. I think we're fine. I just ran a couple tests and it seems like we're good to go. All right. Sorry about that little bit of a lag here. I wanted to make sure everything was looking okay before I started going on about what's happening. So today is mostly going to be about stocks, options. I'll be going here for about 2 hours. If you guys have questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to be going through an entire list and kind of talking to myself a little bit here. And hey, Jim Bob, happy to see you, my man. So we'll be looking at that pretty soon as well. I'm getting messages on my phone here, but that's not too important. But yeah, so we're going to be talking about a whole host of things. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll stop what I'm doing and address what you want to talk about. Members stream here. You guys are leading the train here. And thanks, Bideford. I appreciate that. And hey, Richard, I hope you're well. Haven't been here for a while. Nice to see you again. Hey, man, it's the market's been pretty boring over the last few weeks. I think you're not the only one that's decided like, okay, I'll wait till stuff gets more interesting, right? But this is a member stream, so I appreciate it. Let me know if you have any plays here. I was just working on a little bit of Netflix stuff because Netflix had a couple of fake outs, and it's kind of making me wonder, are we going to break out above resistance, or are we just going to break back down here? We have a couple good golden crosses here, so I was going to be addressing that. But before we go on that little train here and just talk about stocks in general, probably starting off with Apple because Apple's usually the best. Interesting day for Bitcoin, everybody. I'm going to move some stuff over here so I can actually read your guys' comments a lot easier. Um, there we go. Guys, Bitcoin, a few days ago, I told you we'd have an opportunity to pop back up. And I think we've had like two over the past few days. If I go over here to the 15-minute chart, let me go to auto. Let me hide this stuff. We've had two. The first one was right there. We got knocked down pretty hard. Second one just occurred over here, and we got knocked down pretty hard. You may be able to consider this a third one if you want to. But there are some whales out there or somebody, some powerful entity that really does not want Bitcoin to go up right now, and they're trying everything they can to keep us going in this downward direction. I think this kind of goes to what we've been talking about as far as next week or this week, if since it's Sunday. There's a lot of news coming out. The big news coming out on Tuesday is going to be CPI data, and then after that we have Jerome Powell coming out talking about interest rate hikes. I think he's most likely going to do a 50% basis hike. We'll see. Excuse me, 50 point basis hike. We'll see though. As far as CPI, I would expect it to be hotter than expected, but I was wrong about it being hotter last time, so maybe I'll be wrong again this time, and maybe we'll just have an okay CPI number that maybe doesn't look so dovish, but it doesn't look so bad. All right, I think that's the best we could hope for right now. But I do think it's going to get a little bit more choppy here going into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This whole week, it's just going to be one gigantic roller coaster ride, which will be pretty fun for you day traders out there or you options traders. But just understand it's not going to be the easiest thing to trade. A lot of the technicals we're going to be looking at today, as far as Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, you name it, there's going to be a lot of fidgeting around. So you guys have to understand that even though we're going to be making plans today, if the CPI number goes in the wrong direction from the trade you guys are making, it's going to be very, very difficult to even salvage some of these options because the move is going to be so drastic, especially if you're buying options that expire this Friday. It's going to make it really hard. So I would say if you guys want to take that next step, you guys can do some smaller hedges if you want to, or you guys could just wait until maybe Thursday after Jerome Powell gives his announcement. That way you have like a few hours after the announcement to kind of let the market settle out, then a whole new day to start trading again. It is going to be hard to trade Tuesday, Wednesday. It's going to be very, very hard. If you guess right, and you think that CPI numbers are going to be very, very good, we could have a really big move. You could make a good amount of money. However, if you're wrong, you could lose the entire investment. So I just want you guys to understand that. As far as day trades for me, I'm most likely going to be doing a lot of day trades with expirations that expire this Friday. And those will bring me a little bit more volatility, a little bit more money, though, so I'm used to it. But as far as some of you guys that might want to swing trade, just be careful because even if we're heading for some longer-term resistances or stuff like that, there's still a chance that we could easily just plow through that resistance if you're buying puts, or if we're at support level, we could easily just break down below the support level if the CPI data does not go our way, okay? Going over here just to talk about this very fast so you guys have a little bit of context about what's happening this week. So the SPY just formally broke down. That's not the best of signs here, but we broke down. It was a nice uptrend, but we just started a breakdown process. Everybody's really been focused more on this uptrend. We're getting rejected off of it. Next week, if we do have a very good week, maybe we retest 4 or 5, and then maybe we manage to break out above that, leading to a golden cross occurring, perhaps. Going into the new year, I'll say that's going to be a pretty hard one to have, but if it's a good CPI number, 50 basis point rate hike plus some dovish talk by Jerome Powell, it's possible. Irrational, but it's possible, okay? Now, going back over here to the Dow Jones. Dow Jones broke out a while ago, and you saw it had this small surge. It's now giving up some of those gains, but it did break out here. It's just, the Dow really just follows the NASDAQ and the SPY here, unfortunately. And then one other thing here, NASDAQ didn't really make it to the resistance point, but you can see it's getting knocked down all the same, and it did have a breakdown all the same as well. Just going back into what we just talked about, I'm watching to see how this stuff plays out, everybody. But for now, you can see there's definitely more of an incentive for you to buy puts right now if you're going to be swing trading than longs. And that's a general thing. That's not for each and every stock. Some things are still in the uptrends right now. Some are just doing fine. Most are doing poorly, but there's some gems out there, right? Okay, so first of all, let's just start off with Apple. Let me just double check that nobody has any questions. And hey, Rich, happy to see you back. Let's see. Check out SNDL. Let's try SNDL here. And if you guys have questions, let me know because you guys are going to lead this thing, not me. Or as far as your questions, right? All right, so SNDL, very high risk play. This is definitely not for people that are new to trading. This is these types of coins. People lose, stocks. People lose much more money than they gain unless you guys are able to hold. Okay. Now I'm looking at this as far as a weekly chart. It had a small pump, and you can see it dumped all of last week, so that's not too good. There really wasn't too much support around the 20-week moving average here. Going over to the daily chart, you'll see right here that we've also managed to break down. Oh, no, we haven't yet. Excuse me. We're on the verge of catching some support here, so maybe Monday we actually have a pop back up to 250. I would try to buy on the support level here if you wanted to do it. You can see how we're slowly coming back down. It doesn't look like there's too much liquidity in here. Let me go over to FinViz very fast. And let me just see SNDL. Average volume, it was 4 million, and the volume, I guess Friday was 3.5. Huh. Yeah, this chart just doesn't look like there's much trading going on. You guys know what a regular chart looks like. It doesn't look as choppy as that. But maybe I guess there could have been some halts in here, perhaps. Let me see. It started off the day up here at 338. Finished off the day like 25% down. Was that 4%? Why 4% there? Unless I'm using the wrong day. Oh, this is a few days. Okay, this is a few days of action. It's not giving me... Yeah. It's just not separating them out for some reason. But it looks like it's had a pretty sizable drop over the past few days. It's trying to hold on to this little bit of support right here. Um, I'd be okay with buying it. Just it's a very high risk play, so just be very, very careful with it. I would have a stop loss around 235 or so, 238 maybe, in case it does break down. But you could already see this thing is not lining up because I have it in a different chart, a different time frame here. Excuse me. Careful with it. It's a very high risk play. Very, very high risk play. Just be safe with it. New way. Let me see. So this is another high risk play. More people will lose money on this than make money, but be careful. So be careful with it. This one looks really nasty. I wouldn't hold it for long. This is definitely a trade. This could definitely just go back to new lows. And wait, is there a split coming up? Monday the 12th. So there's going to be a split. So I'd be very, very careful if you want to hop into this. Usually after splits, you may have a short-term run-up. That's kind of a dip, then run-up, and then another big dip. So maybe they had another split in the past. Yeah, so you see right here, split, see how it goes down, and then there's the run-up, and then it goes down again. That's what I'd be aiming for there if you want to play around with this. This takes months of action. I don't know if this had another split or not. Yeah, I had one over here as well. Maybe this one will be a little bit different. This was back in 19, so a little bit different, less day traders out there. But this one, it actually ran up and then it came down afterwards. So this one could be a little bit more of a coin toss. I would assume it's going to be something more like this because there's less money in the market right now. But, I could be wrong. But I'd say be very, very careful of this one. As soon as the split happens, it's a 1 to 100 split. 1 to 100. So, yeah, it'll get to like maybe around $10 or something. 12 bucks maybe. I don't know what the exact price is going to be. But I'd say be careful. From a technical point of view, maybe you can have some fun if you want to try to add this into the split, which will make it a little bit more difficult. But double bottom, neckline, see if it breaks out. Might as well try to buy right now. Enjoy the split to see if that works out. But very, very high risk here. CHPT is the last one I'll try there. And ChargePoint. Damn, this thing looks nasty too. Let me go over here and put my pointer on so I don't have to cross. Let's see. This one's breaking down right now. There's not really any support. It had a top neckline break, retested, and came back down over the past few weeks. On the daily chart here, breaking down below support. There's no more support really here. Let me just do one thing. I would say for this one, your best bet would be to just see. Kind of did a little bit. It's not even following fibs. You might find some support around here. 1021. Do a day trade or a swing trade off of this bounce here, but it bounced a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, a lot there. Not really much here. I probably would just wait for it to try to come back down here to 10. But the way I'm looking at this for a swing trade here, you really got to hope that the CPI number is good and that Jerome Powell does some dovish talking if you want to see this thing go. This thing's probably going to be heading back to like below $9 over the next few months. So just be careful with it. This is a very nasty downtrend and it just has never really been able to recover after that. And hey, Rohit, Ethereum. Yeah, let's check out Ethereum very fast. Ethereum really isn't doing much here. You can see we're still on this downward trend. We talked about this, I think, a few weeks ago as far as this resistance level just being a little bit more difficult. We don't really have the same problem with Bitcoin because, Bitcoin, we broke down below the June lows, and that's now our resistance. We didn't really break down below the June lows here for Ethereum. So what I'm looking at here is more of a short-term time frame where we're just trying to break out above this resistance level, which is currently around $1,300. We broke down a few days ago, and remember I made that caveat to tell you, like, hey guys, if we break down, it's not the end of the world. It could just mean we're going to be going more sideways. This is that second thing is happening here, okay? As far as Ethereum right now, I'm not too optimistic about it until we have the CPI numbers. You might just adjust it a little bit here. I think it'll probably go more sideways because everybody is just waiting. If you wanted to make sure, like, hey, make sure we don't break down below something, it'd be this shorter time frame right here. A little bit more leeway as far as the aggressiveness of the trend line. And if I can just get rid of both of these right now, you'll see that I forget this properly. There you go. It really hasn't been too good as far as Fibonacci extensions. I was trying to see some over here. It kind of broke out each time. After that, it kind of became more of a consistent resistance point. Um, but the two things I'm going to tell you to look for here, Rohit. First one is you can always go over here to this Fibonacci level. So low, high, low, right? Still having some issues here. Was okay here, was okay here. This little block here is still having some issues. This one, just like before, is working out a little bit better now. What I'm really looking at here as far as the daily chart, though, you see the 20-day moving average here creeping up. You see the 50 here just kind of going sideways, if not down just a little bit. We're going to get squeezed here in the next few days. That squeeze is either going to cause us to go like to $1,400 and test out that 200 daily moving average, or it's going to bring us all the way back down here to around 1150. So the way I'm playing this right now is I'm not opening a trade yet. I'm either going to do day trades or I'm just going to wait for this 20 to come up here just enough where it has that big pop. If we go over here, this is Sunday, we got Monday, we got Tuesday. Monday, I would try to make you bet if possible. Then you're going to be waiting for the end of Monday, then going into Tuesday's candle to see what happens. Since I'm not too positive on inflation data, and I'm not saying I'm going to be right about this, I'd be more on the short side. However, if we have good CPI numbers, we're going to have a big breakout, and that breakout should be pretty seismic, especially for a lot of crypto coins out there. By seismic, I mean like what is this? Like 10%, 10% or so. But yeah, it looks fine. I'm more pessimistic on the CPI numbers for now, so I'm more pessimistic on a lot of these assets that we're going to be talking about today. But that's why I give you the long and the short viewpoint here. And hey, Bideford, and no worries, Rich, happy to help you out. Nvidia puts for this week or end of month. Um, it's hard for me to do anything swing tradey right now because of inflation data and Jerome Powell. The way I see it happening right now, Nvidia is one of those things where it's more bullish than a lot of other assets out there. So, while we looked at a bunch of stocks a few minutes ago that might be a little bit more bearish or they're kind of in more peril, you see right now we're just in this nice little general uptrend here. Just general, nothing too crazy about it. And you can see we're just consolidating here on the daily chart. We've had a golden cross a while ago, that some nice stuff happened. We may have a golden cross pretty soon. I would like to see that golden cross happen first, and that would give me a little bit more hope that this can try to go back up here towards 192. If you were going to buy some calls going into the end of the year, they would be 175 or 180 because I would like to see them get into the money by the end of the trade. So let's go over here very fast so you guys can see what I see. Calendar. Ooh, this is December. Okay. So you guys see this. So right over here is the 30th, Friday, the 23rd. I'd be aiming for the 30th or the 23rd. I wouldn't really mess around with it too much on the 16th. That's the end of this week. But 23rd or 30th, I'd probably go with the 30th here for Nvidia. And I would aim for 175 calls, 175 or 180. You could go more aggressive, but my fear is what happens if we actually have bad CPI numbers and we start heading back down. By going with the calls or the puts, that if you're going, oh, you're talking about puts specifically. Wait, oh, no, yeah, you're not talking about calls, you're talking about puts. If you're going with the puts, and we do break down here because of CPI data, something like that, you should be fine. But if we don't, oh, this is weird. Now I'm mixing my stuff up here. Okay, let's just go back to calls. If you were to do the calls for whatever reason, you got to be careful because of CPI data. But the reason you'd be going with the 30, the strike price ending on the 30th, is going to be because if there is a large move because of inflation data or Jerome Powell, because you have so much more time until the options expire, you're not going to be hit with as much volatility. Whereas if you tried to buy puts or calls this week and they were, for the 16th, expire on the 16th, then there'd be some really drastic moves, which would be good or bad. Now, let's go to puts here. You at a resistance level. You're going to be aiming or hoping that we don't have a golden cross here, which I don't think is going to be crazy talk there. Um, Let me add something on here for you, or for me too. 30th. All right. 160 puts seem fine to me. 160 is going to be right here. And that way, if we do come back down to here, they'll at least go into the money, or we can have a breakdown and you can scale it a little bit longer. But if we really do have a bad CPI report, we should reach this by like Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday, probably go back down here to 155 or so. I would start scaling out a little bit early, even though if it, this would be on the 16th, like this Friday, basically. And then next week, you can see it probably have a little bit of a rebound, test out some level of support and resistance, then come back down. This would be a lot of scaling out during the first week and less and more moderate scale outs for the second week and the third week, if that makes sense. Especially because Christmas, there's going to be days where the market's closed. So 160 probably would be my favorite option price there, strike price. If you want to get a little bit more cautious, 165 will be fine, but those might be a little bit more expensive, especially if they're going to be expiring on the 30th here. So 160 is what I'd say, and then from there, let's see if how good has this been? How good has this been with the breakdowns or lately? Let's see. Mm-hmm. So you might have some hidden support around 156, so that might be my scale up points, maybe 157. And then, where is it at? I don't use it enough, but I'm going to use it more for you guys lately. So by the end of the month, if things get really, really nasty with Jerome Powell and such, it's going to be the volatility there. Let's just aim for right around here. Your target price is going to be around 151 by the end of the month, and that's with a whole bunch of bad news coming out. On the shorter one, though, shorter, more realistic time frame, is probably going to be around $157. Stop loss would probably be the 200 daily moving average, a little bit above that, so maybe around 176, 177. I'd say probably 176. What is that? No, 177. Just give yourself a little bit more wiggle room there. If you're gonna open up a put tomorrow, I would be fine with a 7% decrease in price. That'd be really good profit for you. But just be careful of Tuesday and Wednesday primarily, because we could have bad inflation numbers Tuesday, good rates Wednesday, and then that would lead to. Actually, I don't know what that would lead to. It'd either be the market is so pessimistic about inflation that we just keep on dropping, or we might get some type of ricochet effect where we're like down by a whole bunch, then we do like volt back up off of dovish talk by the Fed. It's gonna be. I'm not good at interpreting the market because the market's irrational, and the irrational thing would be to buy back up. But if the CPI number is so bad, my head has to believe that the Wall Street would just say, "Hey, let's just sell off here until the end of the year. We had a nice little rally." Even for stuff like Nvidia, Nvidia since October has rallied up like 61%. Do you understand how wild and crazy that is? I have to believe that overall we're still in this nice downward trend. But if you wanted to do longer term puts, I think people are going to be doing that. I would check out some option flow data though. For that, maybe Whale Stream. Um, NVDA. Uh, I haven't used this for a minute here. I want to look at. There you go. That's the button. Buy flow. I'm looking here, and let's go to premium. Okay. 120 put, 330 strike. That's already in the money. We don't have to worry about that. Let me go over here and making a change. Oh, and I just want to go down here. And that's going to be all the flow from last week here, okay? And I want to do at ask, above ask, or to ask. So we're just looking for buy orders for puts. But what I'm really looking for here is puts only. Expires 35 days out of the money. There we go. Out of the money. I guess I say and out of the money. I should just do that then. I don't need to have both. Yeah. Apply changes. There we go. All right. So they got ones for 12.16 by this Friday, 145 strike price. I mean, that's aggressive. That means we're going. Let's just get rid of all the stuff we just saw here. Forget about that little support level. Forget about this line right here. Actually, no. Let's do this. Let me just move this tab over there. So 145, 12.16. So they think this will get here. This could just be a hedge or something. I have no idea. But 15, no, 16, I think is what it said. 16, yeah. And they think it's going to get to 145. They think we're going all the way down here by Friday. So they're expecting a pretty sizable move. Now let's take a few peeks over here. Same by the Friday. 160, that's about $10 less, 143. I mean, all of Wall Street is betting, or not all of Wall Street, a large portion of Wall Street is betting that we're going to be going down. Let me exit out one thing here. I want to go to aggressive order, sure. I want to get out of put options, and I want to see if there's any calls. There's one call up here at the higher premium spot of 190. So I'm assuming one of these people right here is doing a hedge play, and we've talked about hedges, especially on earnings, because the move is going to be so drastic that if you guess, well, it doesn't matter if you guess right, it'll move so far down that even if your calls go to zero, the profits from the puts will make even more money than all the money you lost in the calls, and you still walk with a profit. I'm assuming that's what one of these guys is doing. But as I kind of scroll down here, the majority still seem to be well for puts. You see some green in here every now and again, right there and right there. This is 190, but that's by the end of the month. This is 190. That's by the end of the month here. So those two are betting on good CPI data and good talk by Jerome. Over here, we have 1223, halfway point. So not this week, but next week, right before Christmas, kind of shuts down the market for a while. 185, that's 75K bet. I'm looking at this. All the aggressive orders, out of the money orders that aren't like in the money, most of them are for puts here. You can kind of see right here at the top, whale flow sentiment. It's freaking bearish right now. The call flow is small. The put flow is large. I expect if I were to show more of the not just calls and puts being bought at the ask price or above the ask price and kind of went to bid and sell, I would probably assume that there has been a lot of selling of calls lately because people have been able to make a lot of money over the past few weeks, and they're now just taking profits or at least scaling out of some of those positions. But yeah, puts definitely seem to have a lead here. Wall Street definitely agrees with you that we should be coming back down here. Their calls now are definitely for more this week. Those puts, this week, and not at the end of the month. I think they may be playing bad data, so like negative data, and they're trying to play that as a large move. So you can do that, but understand these guys are paying, not terrible prices, but no, they expire this Friday, so we're not going to do too much here. But, careful with it. Puts seem to be the way. I'd probably go puts with you just because, I just told you, I'm more pessimistic on the data. Don't be afraid to scale out a little bit Tuesday if it really does go your way and we start tanking. But you really don't have to scale up much unless you're very worried about what Jerome Powell may say on Wednesday. So, Nvidia is one of those things that has some pretty drastic moves. Just kind of zoom out a little bit and you'll see how like wild of a ride this thing has had compared to a lot of other stocks out there. It busted through the support a while ago, had a very V-shaped recovery, even decided to break out of the smaller downtrend here. Um, but it's still lagging on as far as this downtrend right there, right? So, yeah. Wall Street definitely does not have high hopes for Nvidia as far as calls are concerned, though. And hey Nashi, thoughts on Compound? Yeah, let's go over here. And hey, Michael, I'll talk about that in a second. I heard some rumbles on Twitter, but I wasn't really sure if it was trustworthy just yet. Um, so here's Comp, everybody. Comp is one of those ones for the long term. I kind of like it just because it's on Robinhood, and it did have a history of going parabolic while on Robinhood, and it's like the lowest market cap coin on Robinhood at this point. If I didn't already say that. So we had a weird double top over here over the past few months, and you can see we're just still dealing with that. We found a short-term bottom over here in November, and we're trying to bounce back up. Just kind of give you guys a bit of a story here. Um, as far as this is concerned, there we go. On the weekly chart, it looks so primed to just skyrocket up and test out $43. It really looks primed to do that. The daily chart just looks so much more choppy and ugly. A lot like Bitcoin does right now, right? Uh, so let me do a couple things here. If you guys, this doesn't even look too nice either. It matched, but not over here, right? Let me see. That do anything? Not really. Should I have done this one? This is a shorter term one, very ugly, but not really right there. A little bit more, so resistance, 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 resistance. No, a little bit. Okay, let's use this one. I guess looks a little bit uglier on when you put it like that, but it's fine. As far as Compound's concerned, I think while I've been streaming, Bitcoin's just been showing a little bit more volatility here. On the 4-hour chart, though, we are starting to see some golden crosses happen. It'd be a shame if it didn't work out. You can see we just had that breakdown a while ago, and it looks like it. Oh, yeah, it looks like the breakdown actually just started. I was trying to think in my head something like more like this, but yeah, even that's kind of janky. Let's see. Any of these been holding up? No. Shorter term might do the trick. There we go. So you're finding some local support right around here on 38 bucks or so. For a play like this, especially a swing trade, you'd want to scale into it. But because of everything happening this Tuesday and Wednesday, which I'm going to keep on reminding you guys of because if it's that important to all the trades out there, it's going to make this more difficult to scale into. What I would try to do in the short term here, maybe the 30-minute chart, there you go. You might try to buy between $38 and $39. I guess 38, yeah, 39 bucks is way up here. Jeez, this chart's all over the place. Just different moves. I'd be okay buying now, but I would have a stop loss around 37.90, like literally like 20 cents less than where it is. And then you can see if it rises back up a little bit more. I think you're probably talking a little bit more long term here, like more over the week. For next week, if you wanted to make a trade, I'd have a stop loss at $37, not even at the low points over here, like at 36. I would have it at 37, just buy it tomorrow and hope that the CPI numbers are good. If the CPI numbers are good, this will surge up, retest out the $40 level, kind of right down there. And then after that, if we can, we'll try to test out and break out above the 50-day moving average right up here, which, should be around here sometime, maybe. Over here very fast. Anything else? There you go. So if we have good CPI numbers coming out this week and good talk from Jerome Powell, I think we could easily get back up here to 43 bucks or so. And from where we are now, that could be around a 13% profit. Careful though, this thing looks like it just wants to consolidate into Tuesday, so you might even have tomorrow it come down a little bit to like $37 or something, 37.55, and then a rebound going into Monday afternoon, Monday evening after the market's closed, then boom, going into Tuesday with good CPI numbers. Stop loss at 37 is fine with me. If you want to give it a little bit more leeway, you can do 36. If you were to buy now, 36 is about 5%, 6% loss. Not the end of the world. With leverage, it may be a little bit more of a loss, of course, but I mean, it'd be fine either way. Just make sure you manage that portfolio accordingly, or that the amount of money you put into that trade accordingly. And hey, Sivas, happy to see you back, man. Hey, I am broke. Happy to see you. Oh, let me make sure I'm not missing anything here. See, and hey, Jim Bob, ATXG. All right. Low market cap one for sure. One of those high risk ones. This poor thing in August, it looks like it launched or it got IPO'd, and it's just been going down ever since. Looks like it definitely looks like a lot of day trading out there. Not much info I can give you on this one, but a lot of day traders' dreams. It looks like just from some of these big booms. As long as it finds support, because these are just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. That's a 30-40% gain right there. So high risk, but definitely a high reward, of course. And hey, could be Yellow Vest. Wednesday we get FOMC meeting. Yeah, we get the Fed meetings on Wednesday, but we also get CPI numbers on Tuesday. So it's just going to be a wild 2 days, and we could have a number of combinations from those. And that's what's so scary about this week, because the volatility is going to be going in ways just it's going to be hard to understand. And Michael made a good important point here. Let me just go over here to my speed test Twitter, so I can go to that page. Michael said rumors of Ripple settlement on the 15th. I was just reading it a few minutes ago. What's going on Fox Business? Reduce private vehicles by eliminating ownership? Oh, geez. What's this? No. Thought I saw it a few minutes ago on my stream. Okay, let me just search for it here while that stuff's. Oops, so that doesn't matter. All right. Just type in Ripple. Should do the trick. We need Ripple to win this case and not settle. Let's see. Stuart, who is this guy? Is he actually important? General Counsel at Ripple. Okay, so he put out a post saying, "This is our final submission where we ask the court to grant judgment in our favor. After 2 long years, Ripple is proud of the defense we've mounted on behalf of the entire crypto industry. We have always played it straight with the court. Can't say the same for our adversary." Ooh. I'll follow him. Let's see. This is from the 9th. There was an actual post here from a few minutes ago, though. Is this? No, I don't know where this. Twitter does a weird thing where it's like opening tabs in my accounts now. XRP. Yeah, so there's a rumor going on right now that there's a SEC versus Ripple case will be settled on 12/15. That would be this Thursday, I believe. Thursday right there. That may even lead to more volatility. So now we have like 3 days of volatility. I'm going to assume the market is going to ignore that noise until we actually have an answer. And that'll be nice, because that document, that settlement, if it really is going to be a settlement and not a victor of the case, I think you will see maybe an initial boost to the price of Bitcoin, but as soon as people start reading into it, that's where things could stay high or stay good, or we start crashing and going down. Like, now everything's liable. Now with XRP, now with not XRP, what we had happen with Library Coin a few weeks ago and how they labeled like most cryptocurrencies as security, that might have messed up the case a little bit more for Ripple or something like that. But we'll have to see. But I do like those rumors. I'd rather they won, but yeah, settlement should be fine. It'll give us some good information here. And just as you guys know, Bitcoin's starting to test out this trend line over here. So be careful. We've tried 1, 2, 3 times. You can maybe put that as maybe a maybe try. But we've tried a few times to have some big moves, and each time we've just been getting knocked back down. Every time we try to rally, it's just been slammed down here. One thing I do want to try out here, I was watching NFL games illegally earlier, um, is I'll go over to the rich list for Bitcoin wallets. Let's just see if the guy has sold any off. Um, no, not since the 7th. And honestly, nothing much has happened since the 30th where he did it, and then the 7th. Go over here to the daily. Let's just use a little Bitcoin symbol. So he did 2 sells on, what am I looking at this for? Where's my stuff at? There we go. 30th and the 7th. So the 30th is going to be right here. And the 7th is going to be right here. So a little bit bounce back up. Not much has been happening. Now, in hindsight, these tend to be more correct, so maybe we're going to be going down. But to me, it's more of what we see going on during CPI data report and Jerome Powell, okay? But right now, the technicals seem to be saying, hey, there's a whale above us that has a pretty big wall. Nobody seems to want to buy right now in fear of what's going on what's going to be happening over this next week. So, we may have a move back down to 16,500 over the next 24 to 48 hours if we just can't continue to hold these levels, okay? So we kind of switched from more of a neutral to a bearish tone over the past past 4 hours or so, mostly because of that big move we had this morning. That thing this morning is just yuck, like that. That looks so beautiful. Then all of a sudden, boom. Not a good look, but it's what we have to deal with right now. Let's go to the hour chart when it just has a little neutral page here. And hey, yeah, we luck. Happy to see you back, my man. Let's see. And hey, check Waves. Waves usually doesn't have much going for it, but it could be a fun day trading thing. Oh, I would just be very careful of this. Everybody, look at this. Keeps on coming down. Let me go to the weekly chart so you guys can see a little bit easier. Let's close this off. We just broke down below support today. It's not looking good for Waves. That next support level that we would have is really going to be down here on 175. That's about another 12% decrease from this level here. Or maybe, I don't know. Yeah, 14%. But that's our next level of support here, guys. As far as, what is this? This 25 cents? Has this really honored anything in the past? Honored it there, honored it there. I mean, we could really go to 84 cents by the time all of this is over. But I'd be very careful of this one right now. I wouldn't even pay too much to that Fibonacci level. It has been accurate, so maybe it comes down to 85 cents, but that's months away from now. Months, not just like in a couple of days. It's still at $1.91 right now, so it still has some value. Let's go over here very fast. Let's go from here to here. Short term, I might bounce off 163 if it doesn't manage to bounce off of that support level from those highs. I'd probably give more leeway to those old highs over here. But just look at this monthly chart. I mean, it doesn't look good. So I'd be very hesitant about even wanting to buy this for the long term now. Like, I have some, but it's like a $50 worth or something like that. I think if you go over here to... Is it on my watch list? I don't know. Am I logged in? No, I am not. Maybe I don't own it. No, I own it. I just don't know where it's at. Let's see. It's not on here, though. No, it's not my watch list. But just so we can check this out very fast. Last 24 hours, only a few things are up, barely, on my watch list. Most things are down in the last 24 hours, okay? Last 7 days, you have a few things that are up. but most are down right now. So year to date, only a few are up. Good thing I didn't buy it, I guess, in the beginning of the year. But yeah, so waves, be very, very careful. This thing's a train wreck. It's going to be going down for a while, it looks like. Maybe it'll be able to get back up to all-time highs. But if you can buy, like, even let's say you bought it at $1.98 or something like that, around $2 now. If it even gets back up to these levels, that's still a 2,000% gain. So, I mean, if you have $50, 2,000% increase, it could work out. Buy a little bit, probably. This is something I would dollar cost like $2 a week. Honestly, you don't have to put much money into it. Let it go down for a while, maybe $5 a week if you really care about it. But $2 a week as this thing goes down into the new year, into Q1, Q2. Maybe it'll turn into something great. But small amount of money. Once the overall market seems like it may be going, finding a bottom, maybe that's when you get more aggressive on a play like this. But right now, this thing has just been bloop. And the only other reason I think I would buy this right now is if you're expecting a sudden rally, which wouldn't come out of technical data. It would mostly be coming out of a whale, like trying to pump up the price so he can exit a larger portion of his position by getting people to start buying, and he's the person that's selling the entire process. So careful of it, but if you catch it on the right time, you could see a big whale spike like this. Huge risk, though. Huge risk. Just like how you can see Bitcoin just broke down below that support and that support. Now Bitcoin, like on the monthly chart, kind of wants to go back down here towards the next support level at 13,766. We could, but Bitcoin's a little bit more resilient, I would say. But there's a lot of bad technicals from the monthly chart perspective here. There we go. Let's go to the 1 hour chart. There we go. All right. And hey, Sivas, let's see. Hey, GT, you think there's a chance of a dip under 17K before this CPI comes out? Yes, but I don't know. Like here, like you see how we're like 17K is like right there, right? We could have a wick or something like that before and then find a way back up. Um, but yeah, I think there's a chance. Remember, we still have Monday. What does the stock market do today? Futures do later on today. So let me go over here to CNBC. So we don't have them up yet, but SpaceX launches lunar lander for Japanese venture space. Moon economy. Oh, GC. Crypto.com. There's been a whole bunch of FUD out there, but anyway, if the futures start turning out pretty negative, yeah, we could easily just dip and break down. What I would say, though, is if you see more of a move coming down for Bitcoin and we do start to break down here, even though we had some of these golden crosses, I wouldn't expect the same type of like nasty move like that. I would expect something similar to what we've been seeing with Ethereum. So kind of see how Ethereum broke down here, but it had a dip, but it kind of just ended up going back to sideways here. I would say you might see a dip, a Monday possible rebound, and then Tuesday, it's all up to you guys' guesstimates on CPI data, and then Wednesday again on what you think Jerome Powell may do. I'm pretty convinced at this point that he's going to do a 50 basis point rate hike, because it's kind of like the language he's been giving out. But CPI data, I don't know. Let's kind of take a look at that very fast. Estimates for CPI. Oh, not cup of soup. It's not for tomorrow, though. So what's for next week? So the forecast is for 7.3%. Oh, I know you guys can't see that. That is the tiniest text I know. 7.3%. So last time we forecast was 8, came at 7.7. So still pretty high, guys. Still pretty high. But yeah, so if it gets above that 7.3, we're probably going to have a bad day. Yeah, but let's hope we don't break down below that. That'd be a bad Sunday night and a bad maybe Monday morning before the futures start boosting the market up here a little bit more. Here, Geosymbols, is that what they think is going to happen, or is it insurance on a larger bet? It's more of what they think is going to be happening based off of what they're buying puts versus calls. If they were doing more hedge bets, they would be more in the money, more in the money type of plays in there instead of out of the money plays. Out of the money is so much more aggressive. There are people that do options plays out there that are all in the money and they never try to go out of the money because they're afraid they could like expire worthless or something like that. Or it's not as simple as that. There's a whole bunch of reasons, but they have the capital to kind of spend as for the extra prices. But what you would look for there is you wouldn't need to put so many. You wouldn't need to put. Oh, how do I say this? I would just start looking for the option flow of what people are buying, and then don't worry if it's out of the money or in the money. That's what for the second one I unchecked out of the money. That way you guys could see a little bit better. But yeah, there it's all overwhelming. I think it's primarily specific to Nvidia though, because Nvidia over the past few weeks has launched up 60%. It has to come back down. That is so crazy how much it's boosted back up. Like it's insane. Um, but the more we look at this market, I think we understand the more irrational it is. People are just looking for ways to make money, and from a trader's perspective, a lot of people on Wall Street are about to get their Christmas bonuses. And so they have to like finish the year off strong so they can kind of justify getting a nice bonus. There's already been rumors out there, or not even rumors, kind of confirmations that certain traders aren't going to be getting as much of a holiday bonus this year because even though they're making a lot of money, the pot for bonuses comes from the entire company. So even though the traders may be strong, because other sectors of the bank, like certain banking products or products that they sell, they're not doing as hot. That means that there's less money to go around, so you have to prove that you're worth more money. I think I could find a short article on it very fast, just for you to check out. Uh, bonuses are less. Bonus are less. Oh, geez. Bonuses are less. Is it? It's like a news story about it though. No. This bonus is going down. Maybe I forget the company it is. Um, it's like Goldman Sachs or something. Lower bonus this year. So yeah, Wall Street bankers face bonus and job cuts. It's off Forbes. Um, the bonus pool for traders by a low double digit, right? So yeah, business. There you go. A little bit more about it. But yeah, gonna be a little bit more tricky. And hey, Turtle, happy to see you back, my man. And hey, Patrick, any winning when I'm gonna do a regular stream? I'll be doing a regular stream at 4 o'clock tomorrow. I think from Monday through Friday it's gonna be 4 o'clock. Although this week is gonna be a little more tricky because on Tuesday I'm going to be waking up early for CPI data that comes out. December 13th at 8:30 a.m. That's Eastern time. So I'll be up at 5:30 in the morning to go over CPI data. But then after that, we have the FTX hearing also happening Tuesday. So if I go over here to, I didn't spell committee right by any stretch of the imagination. Energy and commerce, financial services. We need to go over here to menu. Oh, I'm zoomed in. That's what's freaking me out right now. Okay, there we go. Hearings. And then we have one coming up right here. Investigating the collapse of FTX Part 1. All right. Aha. They updated it. If you guys saw my video the other day, they hadn't updated it yet. So we have panel 1, John J. Ray III. The second one right here is Sam Bankman-Fried, founder and former CEO of FTX Group. And now we got the committee memorandum up there, and click here for the live webcast. Okay, so we got 2 people now. But basically, oh wait, they have a little YouTube video on it. Let's actually watch that. Now I don't have any music running on in the back of my head right now, but let's see. Let's go with that. I mean, you guys can see this, I'm sure. Let me go in here a little bit. Desktop audio. Uh-oh, something's playing right now. I don't know what, though. Oh, a Twitter post. Okay. Now, is anything playing? No, I think we're good. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't realize I was still doing this Twitter stuff in the background. Okay, let's go here. Oh no, it's just it's just saying. Okay, I thought that was gonna be like a little promo for it or something. I guess not. All right, let's get the desktop audio there very fast. But I already read the part of the memorandum to you guys. Another video. If you guys want to learn more about that, you can. But this is at 10 a.m. So this is at 7. So from 5:30 to what is that? 5:30 to 7, we'll be going over CPI data, technical analysis, yada yada yada. 7 o'clock to I don't know when this ends. We'll be going over just the hearing. I will not be talking much during the hearing. I will be talking every now and again, like maybe once every minute, maybe once every 2 minutes, but it'll be a remark and something like or something similar to that. Okay. I will not be doing a full overview of the hearing, like, oh, I'm talking like every few seconds and you guys can't hear what's going on. It's going to be more of just what you saw a lot of the Johnny Depp channels did back just a few months ago. Okay, so I'll notify myself of this. I'll go over here to the committee thing. I'll pull up a page like this, and we'll just kind of watch the hearing as we go from the YouTube channel. And it'll be pretty simple. And you guys are mostly going to be concerned about what we hear from them, of course, and not from what you guys are hearing from from me. But yes, so Tuesday is going to be completely different. I will not be streaming at night. I will not, because I will be way too tired and exhausted and possibly cranky, possibly hangry. I'm hangry right now. I'm not hangry, but I'm hungry because I haven't had food yet today. I've been like working with Loki out in the backyard, just cleaning up some leaves and stuff and doing the laundry, the daily stuff, the chores. And then on Wednesday, go back to Jerome Powell talking. So that one, I will try to do the meeting. I'll do the meeting with Jerome Powell, and then I may do a 4 o'clock stream on top of that. And then Thursday, maybe just go back to a 4 o'clock stream. I don't think there's much news coming out besides the possibility of an SEC Ripple update going on there. And then Friday, another 4 o'clock stream. Saturday, I'm going to try to aim for member stream Saturday. And then Sunday, I'm taking it off because it's going to be just a grueling week. It's like, imagine having a rough start to the week and then just keeping it, like, you just keep on grinding through the rest of the week. Sunday be my day of rest, right there. But yeah, that's kind of the schedule. But Monday, 4 o'clock, next formal stream out there. But if you have any questions, it's a member stream. So I'm answering all of you guys' questions, but just going a little more in depth. Like option flow data, stuff like that right now. Historical flow if you guys want that. The normal stuff here. And I want to let you guys know, this is like the best members stream we've had in a while. Maybe Sundays you guys have more time than on Saturdays, because I feel like Saturdays are hanging out with friends. Maybe I just moved this over to Sundays because this is much, much better than the normal turnout. So I appreciate that, you guys. Gives me more time to just chill because I don't really have to care about views and stuff like that or the growth of the channel. Let's see. And hey, Ken. Hey, Pink Sock. Happy to see you back. Pink Sock, who are you? Who are you? I know I trust you, but I know you changed your name. And check out Sandbox. Yeah, hey, and I can do that. And hey, Turtle, I'm happy to see you back as well. Have fun at work. Let's see. Let's exit this. Let's exit that. All right, and you said sand. Now, sand, it's been interesting. There you go. Let's go to the daily chart first so you can see what's going on. June lows. We are well below those June lows right now. We've had like 2 drops below. So we had this first drop over here, a rebound. FTX just killed that rally, just annihilated it. And then we broke down even more again. This is probably one of the more bearish coins that I own. I stopped dollar cost averaging around like 80 cents, and I am looking to continue if it breaks down below 50 cents. We came close, and I had a little bit of an alert that we were under 55. But I'm willing to just, I still think the bottom of this market is most likely going to happen towards the end of Q1, sometime in Q2 of next year. I'm going to be more aggressive about buying this later on. But right now, as far as Sand is concerned, we just had another short-term breakdown here. I don't care too much that we did just break down, even though we haven't closed today. So the ending of today's candle is going to be the confirmation of a breakdown here. I'm still more in the sideways action mentality for a lot of these different coins and assets right now. You can see that we've had the breakdown. It doesn't look great. If you wanted to buy or open up a short, I'd have a price target somewhere around 55 cents for your scale out level. After that, maybe come back down here to 54, 53, kind of going with each penny drop because it is under $1 right now. But here, let me see if the fibs have actually been working with this one, because I haven't been even wanting to day trade this. There a little bit, there a little bit, there not too much, there a little bit, there a little bit, yeah, fine. Let's go up here a little bit more. Did that make anything even better? No, not really. Okay. So it's a little bit more iffy on the fibs. Let me go over here and try the retracements though, because that's where we're kind of at anyway. Testing a little bit there. Let's go over to maybe a 15-minute chart so we can kind of zoom out and see, hey, how did it do from the 15 perspective? So, not much there. I mean, a little bit, but not much. Not much there. Not much there. Maybe a little bit there. A little bit there. A little bit. A little teeny bit. A little bit here. Is Bitcoin going? Bitcoin's not even doing anything crazy right now, but the rest of the market just doesn't like it. I guess. You could do a day trade rebound for like another 15, 20 minutes if you wanted to. Other than that, I would kind of play this cautiously. Maybe buy if it dips down to maybe 55 cents or so, kind of in this middle ground. It may go to 54 and a half. I'd still want to just make sure I get in this trade. And then you're going to be hoping that it rebounds a little bit further, a little bit more going into Tuesday here. I was trying to see if we might have some type of good, like, little breakdown level here, but you can see we broke down out of this downtrend. Not much happened. We just broke the downtrend, went sideways, then we started a new downtrend, unfortunately. So I don't really see much hope for this one in the short term here. I could see this continue to break down over the next couple of days and take us to 54 cents, maybe by the end of tomorrow. And that's all. That's going to be about a 4 or 5% drop. That's kind of an average bad day in the market, especially if Bitcoin's going to be breaking down too. If Bitcoin does break down and we kind of go to this maybe more downtrend sideways action where Bitcoin goes back to maybe 16,500, like what I've been saying for the past few days, you might see this go anywhere from 54 and a half cents down to possibly 54 cents. I don't think I'm going to be expecting anything massively crazy with this. Maybe at worst 53 cents. That's if Bitcoin does like a minor sideways action. If Bitcoin has a big drop over a 2 to 3 day period of time, actually that'd be today and tomorrow before CPI data comes out, then you could see it break down to new lows on the year. But you're going to have to do a lot of guessing as far as what CPI data is. There's still a little bit of hope in this for me. Just on the 4-hour chart, because we did just have a golden cross here. I'm hoping that can maybe give a little bit more of a sudden boost. But I usually don't bet on those sudden boosts just because of a golden cross, okay? Daily moving averages, way too far away to even care about. 200 is way far away. 50 is even way far away. And we're not even above the 20-day moving average right now. That's the force that you see right now. We're breaking down below that. That's why the day is a little bit more worse than others. But yeah, it's not a good day for this one. Even like talk about Dogecoin for a second here. Dogecoin, we broke down the uptrend a while ago. We went more sideways, and now we're starting to show some weakness here. I kind of drew a little arrow to it, or a line about a few days ago. I was 2 days late, unfortunately, but you can see we're starting to break down right now, and you can see the 20-day is about to cross down below the 50. That could bring Dogecoin back down here to 8.5 cents, even 7 cents here if we're not careful. But yeah, we managed to get back up here towards the resistance level that we've been talking about. So we met our target, but I think a lot of us were expecting a little bit more. I think people are just really freaking out about the CPI data coming out, Jerome Powell coming out. It's just the uncertainty, to put it more like, mainstream talk, the uncertainty really is leading people to just like say, hey, I don't want to take on this risk right now. And you see coins like Dogecoin and a few others, they've had some really beautiful moves over the past few weeks. It's natural to see some people trying to take their profits off, especially as we break down below some key levels here, especially the moving averages. That's going to cause a more of a downward pressure trend because of the death crosses and whatnot. And you'll see how those lagging effects kind of illustrate that. But we're already going down. The moving averages are just going to confirm what we already can see with our eyes at this point in time. What you're going to be hoping for, especially with all these coins right now, is kind of what I've told you. Sorry to reiterate everything again and again. You're just going to have to hope that CPI data is so good that it just brings us up. Otherwise, we start another leg down here towards the end of December, going into January, which will be way different than I think a lot of people have been forecasting out. I didn't really expect a crazy December. I expected a happier December. It's like we end up higher than we started, but not necessarily going booming and stuff like that. I wouldn't go into boom territory until we broke above that 17,622 level for the Bitcoin to Tether charts out there, which kind of sucks, but that really is the level of resistance that Bitcoin must break above if you want to have any good month. We have to break out above that and hold the weekly chart. It seems like whales are trying to keep us from breaking above that today. That way we have to worry about it for this whole next week here. And then again, that kind of puts us up to the fates as far as gambling when it comes to CPI data and Jerome Powell. Yeah, no worries, Bideford. It's hard with Nvidia because it's had such a beautiful rally. That's what makes Nvidia so hard. But you're trying to time the end of a rally, but you have had a good week and a half of consolidation where we've been unable to break out. With CPI and more uncertainty, leads you to be, and option flow data you can see from all the Wall Street guys. You can definitely see there's been some big moves. I mean, as far as Nvidia, very fast. I don't think there's been anything crazy there. There it is. Let me just see something very fast. Uh, 12.9 dark pool. There's been some buys in the dark pool data. That's been pretty interesting. This was all 12.9. It looks like so Friday. 12.8. So not drag this over very fast. Or can I drag this over? There should be a way, I think. What not? No, it won't let me. Okay. Let me just go right here then. Is there a way to click this stuff? Okay. I don't use the dark pool information too much. There's some small trades going on, like very, very small trades going on. But this is dark pool data. I don't particularly like it all too much. It didn't change my mind. The NA Starscream, happy to see my man. You at PST. I know people have been talking about this for a while. PST is not a stock. I was not a crypto. So Upstart. Let's go to the weekly. Pretty nasty downtrend on the weekly chart here. I'd be really aggressively bullish on this just whenever it manages to just break above this 20-week moving average here. It's been the biggest pain in the butt. It looks like we should be getting closer to the ending here, kind of around March, April, May, kind of around that end of Q1, Q2 range we've been talking about. And that's just looking at the 50 and the 20, not really looking at the price action here. Monthly, just to kind of see if I can get a different viewpoint. Okay. Bad earnings report. That didn't help out. Broke below the last support as well. There's not much good news about this one right now. No golden crosses, nothing happening. It'll take a couple weeks. I mean, even the last time you had a golden cross, it only led to a small boom there anyway. Um, let's go right here. I mean, if we have good CPI numbers out there, it could really boost you up to maybe 1862, if not $20. But it's going to be kind of hard to get back above that without really good CPI numbers going forward and good moves from Jerome Powell. Since it is all the way in January, you're really just going to have to hope that we don't break down below this current level of support that we have. What you don't want to see right now is to have these lower lows right there. At least we're kind of setting up. Well, I mean, we had some type of semblance of higher highs until that broke down right there. Uh, I'm trying to look for some optimism in here. I don't really see much of it at this point. If we can hold this level of like 1645, maybe that's going to be your stop loss or so. Then you can hope that we bounce off and we go sideways and CPI data lifts you up, causing a golden cross, and then that brings you up to maybe $23, $24, which wouldn't be out of the ordinary. You have a bullish divergence. That's good. You're still at the low end of being more oversold than overbought. That's good. Although, you want to see that trend reversal happen to kind of justify it. Otherwise, you're just seeing the price go down, right? Let's see. The top breakout. We had a breakout, didn't we? So we just had a breakout of this, didn't we? So we have that breakout, or that was a false breakout that happened there too. All right, well, you're seeing this version of a breakout, testing it out. Maybe that brings it up a little bit higher. And then they're going to be looking at over here as well for another breakout. That breakout, though, wouldn't really happen until like the end of the month. So if I were to... This is going to look very ugly, and I'm sorry. I just need to have a different viewpoint of it. Um, Short-term stop loss at 1646. Since you're going to be holding these for about a month, I doubt the price is going up or down too much as far as the options are concerned. I could be wrong about that though. A stop loss at 1650 if you want to have it there, or if you 1645, I'd probably say, or you can move it down here to where the daily open was around 1519, maybe just 1550. Um, you should have a trend change here eventually. I just don't know if it's really going to take you much higher than maybe $23 to $25. After that, you might see some good stuff, but I think it's going to be a little bit more choppy there. You're really going to have to. You're really going to be on the side of a low CPI number here, though. But I mean, you're on a positive trend. The good thing about having that divergence there is pretty nice. I don't know. I always forget a little bit here. Do I have something? I don't have to worry about it right now. I'll worry about it later. But yeah, it doesn't look terrible. You need CPI data to really boost you from there. But you're already seeing a little bit of a trend reversal, at least showing from the oscillators and the RSI kind of coming out of this thing. Um, you're fine. You're closer to your stop loss than you would like, but it's still no reason to sell as of yet. What's your opinion on Tuesday and Wednesday reports? I'm still kind of in the camp that says I think we're going to have a hotter than expected CPI report. I thought that last month and I was wrong, so please don't take my opinions with like I know what's going to happen. I was wrong about it last month, but to me, I would expect it to be higher again this month. Excuse me. Um, I don't think I don't have that page on anymore, but yeah, I'd expect it to be like a point or two above. Like, if it's like 7.3, I think is the expectations. Maybe 7.4, 7.5. I'm not expecting it to go like to 9% or 8% or something like that, but somewhere close, somewhere close. And hey, Pink Sock, thanks for subscribing, going to the sat for level. I do appreciate that a lot. And hey, Mike, I see that likes to watch TV the same as me. Free is for me. Well, I don't have cable. I don't have cable at my house, so there's no way I could watch TV if I didn't want to. What I do is you can go on those websites and just watch the game for free on my computer. And I don't even I don't watch football on my TV. Maybe I should because it's like a nicer TV, but I never get a TV to watch sports on. I get my TV to watch Netflix on or HBO Max, something like that, right? Not necessarily to watch football. Um, but I know there's been a lot of cool things in the football games today. Cowboys almost lost to uh, Cowboys almost lost to the Texans today, which is crazy. Philadelphia just obliterated the Giants. My Seahawks are playing right now, and they're losing to Carolina just by a little bit. That's surprising. I thought Carolina really sucked. That's okay. Maybe Seahawks really do suck this year. I know. What do you call it? The NFC West isn't doing too hot. Broncos are like competing against the Chiefs. That's surprising in itself. I would expect them to have like 5 points or something like that. San Francisco is whooping Tom Brady in the 28-0. Who's the quarterback for San Francisco? Then we'll go back to stocks. I promise. I promise. But NFL. This one right here. 49ers halftime. 28. Tom Brady 9 for 18, 78 yards. Wow. 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 5 carries, 25 yards. That's not terrible enough for that. They're just not running the ball enough. They must be in full panic mode, but I guess with a score like that. Brock Purdy. This guy. Who's this guy? I had never heard of him, but man, hey, let him roll. Have a first win of your season that's like destroying Tom Brady. That's going to be something that you can hang your head on, even if he is getting older out there. Uh, And hey, Bideford actually makes a great point here. We don't talk about it too much because usually revisions aren't too drastic, but she makes the point of look out for revisions. Last month could have been actually worse, so that could actually give even more headwinds for the Fed to maybe do a 75 basis point rate hike on Wednesday. Let's hope that's not the case. That'll just like decimate the market. But yes, that is a big problem, especially because. People know the Federal Reserve is going to be slowing down rates here, okay? That's not really what's in question, but how many more rate hikes do we have to go through? Because maybe they don't pause in February or March. Maybe they really start to go crazy. Maybe not crazy. Maybe they go like March, April. Maybe they add one for April. Maybe they add one for May. I think some people are kind of like anticipating that February or January is going to be the last rate hike. Maybe I think more sentiments kind of towards February. But what if he has to do one in March, and maybe what if he has to do one in April? That could postpone my time frame of having a bad market end in the Q1, Q2. That can make mean that we actually have a worse off Q2 and maybe a really bad Q3. But I'm hoping the economy can hold up because we have so many job openings right now. Although I'm not entirely sure, even though we have all these openings, I'm not really sure these companies are actually hiring. They just kind of say they have the jobs there, but they're not really looking for anybody to fill them. The expected forecaster kind of sucks. I definitely agree with you there. And hey, Kevin, do I trade Bitcoin options? I do not. I am so the reason why I trade options in the first place is because I was looking for a way to make more money than just buying up shares of Bitcoin or shares of Ethereum in the beginning, or for stock terms, like do I want to buy a few shares of Apple for a few $100? I can only afford so much, or do I want to have the ability to amplify my gains while also risking more losses here? I don't trade them because I have access to leverage. I only trade options in stocks. Okay, Loki, you can get scratches. Loki is literally having his head on my lap, and he's just like, "Roar," like he is just not in the mood. Here, we can take a 10-second Loki break, everybody. Here, you guys continue. Okay. You, yeah. Oh, There we go. I think Loki enjoyed that little Loki break. I'm gonna give him a treat though. If I give him a treat, he runs to my room and he just like eats it in his kennel. He's like, "Yeah, I got myself a little snack." See, come on. Yeah, thank you. I don't know why I say thank you. I think he trained me to be thankful that I give him treats. Okay, back over here to the markets and whatnot. Let's see. Do you really think Sam is going to show up for the useless hearing? Um, wirelessly. Wirelessly is what I would assume he would do. I don't believe Sam would actually show up like on American soil to testify. I think he'll have some type of setup in his house or his penthouse in the Bahamas, and he will video call in. Um, I don't. Let me see if I can go back over here. Oh, I'm misspelling everything again. Um, hearings, FTX. Uh, panel one, panel two. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to organize it, but I would assume that John J. Ray III will show up, and Sam Bankman-Fried will show up through video call. Um, John J. Ray III is the chief executive officer here. They may butt heads about what they know, and I'd be very interested to hear if there's a Democratic House member or a Republican House member that is smart enough or has staff working behind them, which is often the case, that's smart enough to kind of figure out the discrepancies and say, hey, you said this and you said this. One of you guys is lying. How do you guys know this? And then let it play out. Now, I don't think Congress is that smart. I don't think Congress is that smart. However, I think there's a possibility that somebody behind them may be smart enough or they have some experts in the room. But I really just don't know how they're going to have this all laid out, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll be watching it. I'll be watching everything pretty closely. But yeah. I don't think they're smart enough to ask those questions, but I do think there's going to be some discrepancies in what they're saying. I think you may see a Republican or a Democrat come out and say something, though. I don't think you're going to get a clear answer when they do that, or if they do that. I think you may just see a little bit of. It'll probably be Sam saying something else because I know the chief executive officer, he's in America. He does not want to get caught lying. Sam, he can get caught lying because he probably won't come back to America without being in handcuffs or something. So that'll be the dynamic I'm watching for tomorrow, at least one of them. But yeah, it's gonna be just a weird thing to be watching here. Oh, and excuse me, not tomorrow. I mean Tuesday. Tuesday. I thought it was just junior bankers at Goldman. No, it's happening in more sectors, but Goldman's the gold standard, if you will, when it comes to these type of big events. Um, and hey, can I check out Sandbox? Yeah, I can check it out again for you. Let's go over here very fast. Let's hope the technicals are still up there. Sand. There we go. So as far as sand is concerned, we're finding a little bit of support right now around this support level of 0.5613, a touch above 56 cents. Okay, we're trying to hold. It kind of matches up with the support level we had back over here. It's like 4 or 5 days ago now. Back on December 7th. The bad thing is we did just break down. Hold on, Loki's trying to chop my leg off by playing with the toy. But excuse me. If we do have a bad day today or going into bad CPI data going on Tuesday, I would say that we're probably going to be going down to 54 cents. That's about a 2.5 cent or about 2 cent drop. It's not the end of the world, but that would be a drop of about 3.5%, maybe 4% if it bounces up a little bit by the time you open up a short position on it. That's more the bearish case here. On the bullish case, you're going to be hoping that we can hold for at least, let me go to the 4-hour chart here. You're going to be hoping that we somehow start a trend. It's going to be hard of lower highs. And you can see that we are higher here. So we'd have a lower high over here, a lower high over here. And then you're going to be buying some of these lows right now in anticipation for more of a sideways move. And that sideways move is really just going to bring you back up here to possibly 57 cents, if not somewhere back up here to the middle ground right over here before we get rejected off of this trend line and come back down a little bit more. So that might be a 1 to 2 day hold. This whole day, though, like from here, this little box, that's CPI data. The next box right here is like Jerome Powell. Next box over here is kind of like the next day, basically. Another rumors of XRP reaching a settlement with the SEC. So there's like 3 days of just cluster, cluster fucks information or, news that could really just derail that entire thing. However, it's not bad if you wanted to buy right now at 56.27 and you wanted to have a stop loss at 54.50 or something like that, or even just the low we experienced, last week around 55 or 55 and a half. You can definitely go down that route. It's not a bad idea at all, but you have to have a stop loss there. Otherwise, you could risk some really crazy moves when it comes to CPI data and stuff like that. Probably would be careful about taking a short position right now since we just had a little bit of a dump on this one. If I was going to open up a short, I'd be more wary of what the stock market is going to be doing, especially early morning trading activity and the futures activity. So that's pre-market, which for me, I don't wake up for pre-market because it's just so freaking early. Pre-market for me on the West Coast starts at 1 a.m. I believe on the East Coast it starts around 3 o'clock, or maybe 1:30, I think it is. But yeah, so be very cautious about it. That's the kind of short and medium term outlook for it. Longer term outlook, it'd probably come down here to like 37 cents by the end of all this trouble. 37 cents maybe. If it gets really, really bad and we have a really bad moment in the economy, it can go back down below 20 cents, maybe around to 17, 16 cents, maybe at worst 15, but it could happen. But I don't think it's going to be a straight dump unless the economy really just tanks. And from what I see right now, the economy is not really tanking so much as far as just like certain sectors are breaking down one by one by one. And we're all kind of just waiting for that next capitulation event. We're not there yet. The economy is not there just yet. And hey, buy it for Saturdays. Everybody's working. That makes sense. And in Cali, after rain last night, chilling at home. There you go. I need to go visit California. Loki over here wants to play. We're gonna go play after this. Well, no, I gotta make lunch / breakfast. Oh, I might as well just make dinner. Yeah, might as well just make dinner. I did a late night snacking, and so I decided not to eat breakfast today, but I should have grabbed some lunch. I had half a bottle of wine. I have my little stopper on it right now, and I had some capicola salami and some cheese. Capicola, capicola salami, boar's head. My favorite store isn't selling boar's head anymore. They're phasing it out for Dietz and Whites or something like that, which I don't like. This stuff, hot uncured capicola. Uh, it's a little pricey, but I don't eat it too much. Oh, I did not choose any of these cheeses. I chose some random cheese on the side. All right. Uh, yeah, but it's some good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Let's go back over here to Bitcoin. If you guys were looking for something to be really energetic about or happy about, I would say over the next few hours or next few days, what I would do is just kind of a basics lesson here, or a basic lesson. Last 7 days, see what's gone up a little bit, like Ton Coin's up quite a bit, Axis Infinity's up a little bit. Flip the script a little bit and see what's been going down. CeeLo, probably not that. But if you find some of these coins at low market caps that have already I say low market cap, and look at we're on like coin number 88 highest market cap right now. These coins will probably have some of the strongest rebounds because they're pretty heavily shorted, I believe, and so that may give you an opportunity to have a good boom there. Like if we have good CPI data, I know Dogecoin's lost a lot of the last 7 days because it's boomed up so much. Obviously, I could definitely see this having a really big pop. Right, those are some of the moves I'd be looking for. Traditionally, though, when it comes to these volatile moves, I'm either trading Bitcoin or Ethereum. That's about it. Dogecoin would be an extra thing I'd possibly look at this week, though. I would look at it, actually. I would look at it. And I can. Have you heard any negative rumors about the health of Binance? Not from anybody in my circle, but I have started to see them a little bit on Twitter. I believe though all these rumors are starting because of a Wall Street Journal article, I believe. I do think people have concerns about it. I do. Um, because at the end of the day, while proof of reserves do show like how the money, like how much money they have, it's never 100% clear if the mechanisms are set in place properly to do us that type of stress test where they have to be moving money left and right. Now, I think for now though, most of it's just because of what we've been seeing from that one article. Let me see if I can find it here for you very fast. Not Binance, Binance. And that's not even how you spell Binance either. There we go. So, Mr. Whale, breaking Binance's alleged crypto audit failed. Not even its auditor would vouch for it. There you go. So, yeah, this is the rumor. So, this actually started with the Wall Street Journal. Oh, yeah, there. Wall Street Journal article. Yeah, there's. There it is. Excuse me. Binance's proof of reserve report doesn't address effectiveness of internal financial controls mechanisms, doesn't express an opinion or assurance conclusion, and doesn't vouch for the numbers. I worked at the SEC enforcement for 18 years. This is how I define red flag. Okay? Now, do I trust people from the SEC? I really don't. I really just don't. However, another reason to be concerned. I would not ignore this information, but I'm not going to be moving assets off of Binance because of it. If the rumblings grow, if there is a panic, I will move all of my funds off of Binance. I don't really have many left at this point because of what happened with Celsius a while ago, Voyage a while ago. A lot of the coins that I held on Binance, they were not there. So I mean, I moved them all off, right? So another reason, another kind of just little warning flag. I think they're healthier. Um, like they're healthy enough to kind of deal with all this personally. However, I don't know for sure. So I would say, small red flag. I'm not panicking withdrawing the last bit of money I have out there, but I wouldn't be holding much money in there in the first place unless you don't have a wallet. Um, yeah, this is where all the rumors are coming from, though. Wall Street Journal has been having some weird. They've been putting out misinformation lately, right? But if it gets verified by other people, that's where I start to see more legitimacy coming in. I'm trying to walk out like a thin line here because I don't want to cause any panic, but I don't think it's anything to be panicked about, if that makes sense. Yeah, I would say if you want to be sure, just pull your money out into a Ledger Nano wallet. The way I'm playing it right now with KuCoin and Binance is when I want to make a day trade, or BingX right now actually. I actually pull majority of my funds out of all of these exchanges, and then I put them in only when I want to trade, and then I just pull back out. Now the fees end up being somewhere around like 40 to 50 bucks each time I transfer money, but the profits obviously outweigh that. Um, and so in out, it's just a price that the price of the trade, or price to do trading. That's the best way I look at it. Um, the larger the amount of money you're transferring in, it's kind of like the larger the fee is going to be, unless using the Tron network, which I use every now and again. Most of the time, I just use ERC20, Ethereum. But yeah, it's a warning flag for me. I haven't seen people withdraw their funds out. Until I actually see people start to withdraw their funds, we'll see. But like here, we can. Let me. So we can't even read it if we wanted to. Wall Street Journal, it's their stuff. Um, but yeah, so I would assume what they're gonna do when this news broke is they'll probably respond to it or show more data or start to get more funding or something like that. Okay. Um, what's Russell Wilson doing very fast? Just because I'm interested. Oh, okay. Russell Wilson's doing some shiny stuff now. Okay. Um, now, what's the guy's name that runs Binance? That's the question. Uh, CZ. Oh, not CZZ. There you go. I haven't. He's not responded to it yet. We'll see what he has to say. I guess over the next few hours, I would keep my eye on his account. Um, yeah, but I don't have much news besides that. Um, you may see more worries if we capitulate again. That's where you might see some more panic there. But if Binance goes down, a lot of stuff will go down with it. That's an event that brings Bitcoin down to like $10,000. So I mean that'd be a pretty seismic event if you ask me, just because of the sheer amount of crypto that's on the account. Because since all these other accounts have been falling like rocks, everybody's been moving it to Binance as a safety mechanism. See. And hey, Miss K, have a good night. I just added money in Dogecoin and it went down. Can't says, isn't that usually the case? In a bear market, yes, that's usually the case. Although, I mean, if you put money into Dogecoin, you're really making a play for Tuesday and Wednesday. For a lot of these trades out here, you're making plays for Tuesday and Wednesday for sure. And hey, Emu Man, happy to see you. Is it possible to see Bitcoin at 5K? Yes, it is. It would just be, there would have to be such an economic disaster in order for us to see that. But yes, it's possible. Um, we would have to have a lot of exchanges going under, because that Bitcoin, nobody knows what happens to that Bitcoin. They'd just be like locked away for a while, and then the free market just takes over, right? And then you might have to see some of the larger whales actually do mass sell-offs and really just crater their prices here, because how do I explain this? All right, this is an easy way to explain this. BTC, right? We use the Binance chart. A lot of stuff that we have here, a lot of the data comes straight from Binance. Sure, we have other ones, but the data is not nearly as good as the Binance data. You go to Ethereum, still, you're going to see Binance Ethereum. That's where you're going to be getting a lot of information. This is Eurotech, Hydra, like a stock, a market cap, and Ethereum futures. Not what we're looking at. Crypto, everything kind of revolves around Ethereum. I think everybody would have to move over to Coinbase or something like that. Something like that. Um, but that's the catastrophe that would happen. Because if you want to sell off large blocks of crypto, you have to go to Binance or Coinbase because there's somebody on the other end, tons of rabid buyers that want those or that want to like help you get rid of your coins because they want to buy for the long term. Um, if there's no good exchange where you could offload large amounts besides maybe Coinbase or something like that, you're going to see the prices really just start to go down and down and down and down and down. It'll be pretty brutal. Um, that's if Binance goes down. Um, that's a bad effect that could happen. It could go down that low. That's if Binance goes down at the height of a bear market. So that the worst timing, worst possible event. I don't think it would happen at that event, but it could. And so that's at least a little bit of a reasoning of why that could happen. I don't think it will, but gosh, I mean, who knows at that point? We don't know how bad this market's going to be. Right now, we're just watching Bitcoin attempt to break down here after trying to trying to break out early, or at least try to break out of this sideways trend here. Didn't even get close. And hey, Kryptonite, XRP sure can. Let me see if can I have, do I? Oh, there it is, XRP, yeah. XRP doesn't look too good. This is a 5-minute chart, but XRP doesn't look too good right now either. Now, well, at least the downtrend isn't too bad. Too bad. Let me go over here to a trend line. Let me just do this, and let me go over here. I want to extend the right line for this one. Excuse me. There you go. Pretty far away from that downtrend. If I really wanted to find a reason to buy this, it'd be more around here on 35. There is a rumor that there could be some news coming out on Thursday as far as a settlement. I think the settlement should initially be taken as good news, but the more we read about the settlement, that's why I'm going to have more questions, more uncertainty, and why I might not feel as optimistic, right? But I think if we have the settlement, it should be a good little boost initially. Then maybe we go anywhere once we figure out exactly what the settlement entails. Now, we just had a golden cross in the daily. We're about to have a death cross in the daily as well. Give it a few weeks here, or about a week or so. We'll see the 50 cross down below the 200. We haven't had that really happen since over here, and that did lead to like a nasty drop, didn't it? Now, we held there, so maybe use that as well. Okay, let's see. That's the high point. Okay. Held up right there. Held up a little bit. If you were going to buy it, have a stop loss kind of around 37 cents or so. After that, are we really going to have another move up though before CPI data? Probably not. So let's do short term here. Yeah, we hit the one price target. Worked perfectly. Not much there on the upside. You'd really be aiming for the 50-day moving average, if not 40-cent mark here. That's about a return if you were to buy now of like 7%. Although I would have to hope that going into tomorrow, you might be able to get this around 37.45, 37.50-ish range, like 37.5 cents. That might be okay. Short term, though, looks more bearish. I'm a little bit pessimistic about it because Bitcoin looks like it wants to break down here. If Bitcoin holds, you'd want to be buying this. If Bitcoin holds, you'd want to be buying this. Not really much else besides that. We did have a breakdown right here, and that's kind of what we're dealing with. It hasn't been a bad one. It's just more of that sideways trend. If you buy for a swing trade right now, you're making a bet for CPI data Tuesday. I would scale out if the CPI data goes your way. If it doesn't, I would just exit and recuperate a little bit and kind of wait for another buying opportunity. Because Wednesday, Jerome Powell's going to come out and give a inflation speech and talk about raising interest rates and what he's going to be raising the interest rates by. And then Thursday, we have the XRP primarily. We may have a settlement event happening. That's 3 crazy days for XRP. You're normally not going to want to be trading this unless you buy before the events happen and you hope to sell after the events for a good profit. It's going to be like a one-time thing or multiple. You can go day by day by day since this is 24-hour trading, but you have to have a plan and you got to have those stop losses in place. For me, right now, the stop loss, extreme stop loss, would be around 37.5 cents. If you were to buy right now, most likely 36.5 cents if you were to buy over the next like 10 hours or so, okay? And hey guys, hope you guys are doing well. Why is Coinbase telling customers to switch from UDST to USC? Is UDST in trouble? I mean, they've been saying Tether's been in trouble for a very, very long time, but I think Coinbase wants more people to use their stablecoin. I mean, it's as simple as that, right? I have a lot of stablecoins that are in both. Mostly when I trade, it's usually with Tether, honestly, because I'm not usually trading too much with Coinbase. I don't like really trading with Coinbase. If Coinbase were to make a platform like Binance or another platform like that, sure, I'd be happy to do a little bit more UDSC out there. But Tether has depegged a few times over the past few months. So people are getting more concerned about that as the market starts to deteriorate even more, and the economy gets worse. Bitcoin goes down to maybe 15,000, 14,000, 10,000, whatever it's going down to. Will Tether depeg? If Tether depegs, that'll be a pretty catastrophic event there. Same with UDSC. I think UDSC has been more stable than Tether. So if I was to choose, I would say UDSC, but a lot of these exchanges only have Tether to work with. But they've been saying the same thing for like over a year now, and we still haven't had that big scary Tether moment like we had with UST. See, and hey, Crypto Yellow Vest, you can play a little bit of a bounce on oil, but just be careful. Inflation numbers are going to make oil markets irrational this week. Like everything is going off this inflation data here. Let's see. And sidebar for that could just be me talking into my mic a certain way. ApeCoin, yeah, sure. Let's go over here to ApeCoin very fast. ApeCoin, not Ape the stock. There we go. We're battling with a little bit of resistance over the past few weeks. This is one of those examples where there we go. We're still pretty far away from the breakout. We had a little bit of a breakdown here, but that went more into the sideways trend. I don't know if you can even call that. Let's get rid of this one though, so it doesn't make it seem too crazy. All right. So let's get rid of that one. Okay. So we've managed to break out kind of, we still got a few more minutes to wait, like 15 or so. We've almost broken out above this old level of resistance from here to there. So around, $44 or so. Yeah, $3.95 perhaps, something like that. But right now we're kind of getting stuck at this larger downtrend here. You could already see that we've already gotten rejected off of that the first time, and we're also getting rejected off of this other trend line here. So there's two levels of resistance we're having issues with. I'm not too concerned about it right now. I would not be buying right now because we're kind of towards the end of this move. However, tomorrow we may have a golden cross, so if you wanted to try to do that breakout, you could. I would buy the breakout, not beforehand. See if it gets back up here to 496, kind of matching that 200 daily moving average. If it manages to break above that, it'll most likely break above 525, and that could be a monster surge for ApeCoin here, especially with the help of, again, all the big news this week. But I probably wouldn't buy until after we confirmed a breakout. It doesn't look like we're going to confirm a breakout today because we only have 14 minutes left. But possibly tomorrow with that golden cross, it could launch us up a little bit higher. Be careful with it because you are at that major resistance, just like the SPY and the NASDAQ. But, with the news, it could really pop up and have a really nice move, like a sizable move. You should be happy it's closing above the old resistance level up here. It hasn't been able to do that for a while. That should give it a little bit more oomph here. Just understand tomorrow is going to be a big tug of war for this coin as the people try to get it ready for a breakout, or people try to tank it back down to at least the $4 level, which would be about a loss of about 8% now. But if you manage to buy it at the right time, and this is 25% up here, if it really gets crazy, it's like 51%. I would be aiming for around 24% if you were to buy now and you want to hope for a good CPI number. It'd be a really strong move coming out of ApeCoin. All right, but okay, everybody, I'm gonna call it a day here. I might be cutting in and out a little bit as well. I'm gonna go grab some food. I got mussels and clams to make some spaghetti or something tonight, so that'd be really nice. Yeah, I had fun talking with you guys. My voice is kind of going in and out as well here. But yeah, I had fun talking with you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are going to be very, very wild.